Welcome back, Truth Seeker. February 15th, 2018. I want to call Sheriff Scott Israel. He was on television yesterday giving details about the high school shooting at Stoneman Douglas. I have some really important questions I want to ask him, and I just want to see how he responds because this information is just so important. And we know something very wrong is going on. I want to see if Sheriff Scott Israel realizes what he's participating in.
Good afternoon, Sheriff Israel's office.
Yes. Is it possible to speak with Sheriff Israel?
He is unavailable, sir. Can I take a message?
Is there somebody who's next in command there?
In reference to what, sir?
Yesterday's shooting.
I can put you through with our PIO department. Can you hold for me?
Please.
I'm Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel. Thank BSO Public Information. This is Jonathan.
Yes. Do you work with Sheriff Scott Israel?
Yes, I do, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah, I have some questions about the shooting and his reporting on television.
Sure.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask him some important questions. I noticed a major pattern with this shooting and other recent shootings in the media.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what day the Pulse nightclub shooting was?
I don't. No, I don't.
It was June 12th, 2016. Does that sound right to you?
I'm not sure.
Well, that is the date it happened. It happened June 12th,
Okay.
2016. From June 12th to this shooting, this latest Valentine's Day massacre, was 612 days later. 612.
Okay.
Kind of like the date June 12th, 6/12.
Got it. I get it, yeah.
So I know some Freemasons, I know some police. I know that Freemasonry has much influence in the world of police and sheriffs and elections and government and media. And, I learned something once upon a time, this language of letters and numbers. It's called gematria. It's important to higher ranking Freemasons. Anyhow, the word police in gematria sums to 612. 612. And so does the word Valentine. Valentine. Now, I want you to think about this. Pulse nightclub, Valentine's Day shooting, 612 days apart. I mean, what is a pulse? It's like what's caused by our heart pumping blood through our body. Valentine's, hearts, blood, shooting, 612 days apart. See, what I understand is going on just from paying attention is, I remember it was wintertime 2016, it was the shopping season, and there was a shooting in Colorado Springs, if I remember correctly. There were multiple shootings in Colorado. And then CNN, the night of the shooting, ran this 15-minute story, which I just couldn't believe that they were putting on the news the same night. It was about how police are conducting drills in real time in public places, malls, theaters, schools, college campuses, high schools. And they had police officers explaining that by doing these real-time drills in situations where the people around don't realize it's a drill, it just adds to the training. It makes it more realistic. It allows them to prepare better. And I was thinking, wow, we're getting all these shootings in the media just more than ever. They've just become a part of our, almost nightly news. We're hearing about it every week, it seems like. And I thought, wow, and now they're putting out this news story about how police are conducting these drills that look real in public in real time. And anyway, I've just been tracking this pattern of 612. It goes well beyond just what happened yesterday and with Orlando. Have you heard of the Dune Blaine Massacre?
No, I haven't.
The Dune Blaine Massacre happened March 13th, 1996 in the United Kingdom. And what's interesting about that incident is it got gun rights changed in the UK. You could no longer own a handgun. Most weapons were banned unless you were a hunter. You could have a hunting rifle, and that's still pretty much the way it is in the UK. That was because of this shooting, which was targeting first graders. A random person walked into a building and shot first graders. Now, here's what's so interesting. In Gematria, Dune Blaine Massacre, what the event's known as, sums to 612. And maybe this seems like a leap, maybe not, but from the Dune Blaine Massacre to the Sandy Hook school shooting was 6,120 days. 612, and then a 0 at the end. You know, first graders, there's been a major call for a change in gun rights. There's been more legislation about background checks. We're seeing a lot of this in states throughout the nation since Sandy Hook. Major upward push. And I'm thinking, well, what do the United Kingdom and the United States of America have in common? Well, Freemasonry. Freemasonry, modern Freemasonry established in the UK. A lot of the men who established this nation were Freemasons, including the first recognized president, George Washington. There's always been Masonic influence in these nations. This code is Masonic. Masonry has influence over police, government, media. These codings are too perfect. And I can go even beyond the 612. But just, I want to know from...
what you're saying, sir. Is there, do you have like a message I can take or something? Because
I want to ask Scott Israel if he's a Freemason and if he knows something he can reveal to us.
A Freemason?
I want to know...
What's your phone number, sir?
My phone number is 206 271.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Zachary Hubbard.
Zachary. Okay, I'll get him a message. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you listening. Take care.
Thanks.
So, Truth Seeker, we're going to get the word out. We're going to start calling these people out. We're going to let them know that we're onto their shenanigans. And, you know, he listened long enough in those phone calls before I've been hung up on. So, here's what else that you should know in case you're new here, in case you haven't seen my past work. The Dune Blaine Massacre happened March 13th, 1996, which was a leap year, which made March 13th the 73rd day. Dune Blaine equals 73. Very special number here. Remember, there's parallels between Dune Blaine and Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook is in Newtown, Connecticut, which is on the 73rd meridian west. Showed this yesterday. You can look it up. It's a fact. It's its coordinate. These coordinates are important to this research as well. But Adam Lanza was the blamed shooter. Adam Lanza equals 73, like elementary school. These were both elementary school shootings that stirred up legal changes. Now, we were just talking about the Pulse nightclub being involved in this. Pulse 73. I was talking about Freemasonry, the UK, the United States. United 73. Mason 73. Masonry. Modern Masonry began in 1717. In case you're new here, there's 4 base ciphers. Mason 17. Modern Masonry 1717 in England. And notice Scott Israel 42. I really want to know if he's a Freemason. You write out Freemason 42 in the same cipher. It was the premier Grand Lodge that was established in 1717, beginning modern Freemasonry. Anyhow, coming back to these parallels, these numerical tributes. If you go back and look, Adam Lanza was reported to have weighed 112 pounds. A seemingly needless detail, but also a ridiculous detail. What man weighs 112 pounds? I think they said he was 6'2". 6'2", 112, you are like literally bones. So anyway, the date of the Dune Blaine Massacre had 112 numerology. Sandy Hook, using the alphabetic order, English ordinal, equals 112. Adam Lanza was born April 22nd, which is the 112th day of the year in non-leap years. But if you want to get technical, he was actually born in a leap year, which makes it the 113th day. Sandy Hook Elementary School equals 113. So does Stoneman Douglas High School 113. Scottish 113. Mainstream 113. Dishonest 113. Coming back to this 612 thing, what I just called him about and which I thought about telling him, but I didn't. Maybe this would have got too kooky. Some people think this stuff's kooky, even though it's not. This woman that the school's named after, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. It's the high school that just got shot up. It's named after this woman. Notice she's born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is home of the 612 area code. Now, we just saw a Super Bowl that the Eagles won in the 612. This high school is the Stoneman Douglas Eagles. And check this out. The last time the Patriots and Eagles played before the Super Bowl, which I was talking about before the Super Bowl was played, was okay. First of all, the last time they played before the Super Bowl in the 612 area code was on December 6th, 2015. 6/12. The last time the Patriots and Eagles played. And from that game, December 6th, 2015 to the Super Bowl was 113 weeks. Now check it out. Eagles 113, the name of this school, the name of the team that just won the Super Bowl. Stoneman Douglas High School and Sandy Hook Elementary, 113 in reduction. Also 121 in reverse reduction, which corresponds with Revelation, where the name Philadelphia comes from. Revelation of the Bible. Philadelphia Eagles just won the Super Bowl. As we talked about, the names of the shooter put out with the different spellings, both 149, both 67. Nick Foles with the Eagles, 149. Revelation, 149. Check out Valentine's, 149. You see? Notice also the 121. Just like the school has the 121. See how nicely it all comes together? This school, Stoneman Douglas 54, Fly Eagles Fly 54, backwards Fly Eagles Fly 54, Capone, Valentine's Massacre, Capone 54, this shooting on a date with 54 numerology. And the Pulse shooting, which I should also mention, 6 plus 12 is 18, plus 20 is 38, plus 16 is 54. 54. 54, 54 in both ones. Freemasonic, 54. Jesuit Order, 54. So you know, Truth Seeker, like I say, there's always more. There's probably even still more. But this gang that's doing this, you know, it's going to be up. Too many more tributes like this. This is just too much. They're going to give themselves away. I know that a lot of people who watch my videos just to troll, they're not going to troll this video. You know, they're going to be quiet on this one. They might even be some of the people who end up posting a week later like, hey man, I'm done trolling you. I realized you're actually talking about the truth. It's probably happened 100 times since I've been doing this since 2014 with the videos. 2013 since the blog. We'll see if that man gives me a call back. Till next time, Truth Seeker.